Welcome. In this lesson, we are going to look into how to edit our video once we've recorded it. Recording it is the most important part, but afterwards, there are a lot of small things that we can do with editing to make it even better and even more polished. So that's what we're going to look at. We're going to use a software called Clipchamp, but any video editing software will work very similarly. I'm just going to show this because this is a free tool that is fairly easy to use and fairly widely available. So I recommend that you start with this if you've never done any video editing before. There are a number of reasons why we might want to edit our video after recording it. First of all, this way we are able to cut out and trim mistakes so we don't have to show where we messed up, and it's easier for people to follow a mistake-free version of our video. We can also tune the picture and tune the audio a little bit, make things a little bit brighter or shift the colors a little bit, make things a little bit louder. Again, adding a little bit of polish to make it even better quality and even easier to understand and clearer to follow. We can also add pictures or other visuals and text throughout our video. This is also a tool we can use to show some more aspects of what we're talking about and to point things out as we're talking about them and keep people more engaged and keep things easier to follow and understand. The way we're going to do this is after recording our video and audio, we're going to take the cameras or take the mobile phones that we've used, take the files from them to our computer, all the video, all the audio, we're going to get into the computer and we're going to import them into Clipchamp. There we'll be able to cut them, move them around, and do all sorts of editing and all sorts of fine-tuning to the recorded videos. And once we're all done there, we'll be able to export one single video file that we can share with our students or with our audience. That is the final version of our lecture. So without further ado, let's get into the practical tips on how to use Clipchamp to edit our video. Let's see how this works. We are going to use an online tool called Clipchamp for editing our video. You'll find that at clipchamp.com. This is a very versatile tool. It has lots of features, so you can go really deep with it. But what we're mainly interested in is basic video editing. And crucially, you can do this in an unlimited way for free with Clipchamp. So this is going to be a great tool for beginners. Let's start by logging in from the top. And since Clipchamp is a Microsoft tool, so you can use your personal or corporate or school Microsoft account even to log in. Here we are on the home screen of Clipchamp after logging in. And let's start by creating a new video project. Down here, clicking on create your first video. This will move us into the editing view. This is where we'll work. Let's first give a title to our video. This is how it will be saved in Clipchamp, so we don't have to do this all in one sitting. We can work on our video some, then come back later and pick up where we left off. In the left panel is where we'll find all our imported video and audio files and all the other resources that we are going to work with. So let's start by importing some video files. Let's maybe start with this file. This is going to be the main recording for the example or demo lesson that I've recorded. And as I click open, Clipchamp imports it, and now we have this file in the left-hand bar. You should remember that this doesn't upload the files to the cloud, so the files are still needed on your computer. Clipchamp is basically just using them from your computer. To start working with this file, we can simply drag it to this area down here called the timeline. This is where we'll do our editing, and as I drop it there, you can see that I can start playing. The video clip lives there now, and I can scrub through it, go forward or back,
start and stop playing. You can do all the usual things, even skip ahead 5 seconds. Or you can skip to the beginning or the end of your video. We can add more than one recording, so I'm going to randomly grab another video file and import it as well. And what's neat here is once you have more than one file imported, you can grab the second one and put it after the first one, and now you have the two files in sequence. The problem is I need to zoom in with these plus and minus buttons here because the first file is so long and the second one is so short, so I wasn't able to see it. But you can see that it plays sequentially one after the other as I've dropped it in. Now I'm going to zoom out with the zoom to fit button, and I don't need this last video file, I just dropped it in as an example. So I select it and click on the trash bin icon to delete it from the timeline. This doesn't delete the file, of course, it just removes it from our video project. Next up, let's see where I start talking in this recording, because I didn't start right away. So I want to edit out everything that is before I start actually talking about the topic of the lesson. I think I found it here, so I'll just grab this handle at the start of the clip and drag it to where this white vertical line is, that's the playhead, and I'll drag the video file back to the beginning. Now, this is the clap I started my recording with. We'll talk about why that's necessary later, but that's not quite the start of my lesson, so I still need to find that. I think this might be where I start talking, so let's see. Yes, let's drag the beginning again. So now what I'm doing is basically cutting off the beginning of the clip. Turns out I didn't start talking just yet, so I still need to chop off a little bit more. Let's see.
Sziasztok!
Yeah, that's where I actually start speaking. So let's very carefully find that moment and drop everything else before that off.
A mai órán.
Let's see from the beginning.
Sziasztok! Na még egyszer.
And here we need to chop off some more because I didn't actually start right away.
A mai órán azt fogjuk megnézni, hogy hogyan tudjuk ezt az aranyos átlagot mozgásra bírni. Fogjunk ide a
I think this will work.
monitorhoz.
Now I have this section where I'm basically talking to myself a little bit and then I'm repeating a sentence, so I want to cut that out. So what I'll do is find, this is the end of the sentence where okay, this, as I point to the screen, I'll use the scissor tool to split the clip in two pieces. So now I have a separate clip here, and I'll find the end of the part where I'm fiddling with the keyboard. I want to cut all that out. This, I think, is sort of where I want to continue. Yes, so I use the scissors again, and now I have 3 clips. So I split it 2 times, and I'll just take the middle one, get rid of it with the trash can, and drag the second one to follow right after the first one. Let's see.
Megnézzük, hogyan fogjuk őt megprogramozni. Forduljunk is ide a monitorhoz, és itt látjuk, hogy ez a DC motor.
So I think that works pretty well. I just got rid of the unnecessary part. Let's do that again. Here, I start a sentence again. I got a little bit confused, so I want to cut that out as well.
Mert ez meg megmondja nekünk, hogy erre az irány a robotunkon.
I'll split here.
Illetve
This whole sentence I'm going to repeat later.
blokkra, mert ez meg megmondja nekünk, hogy illetve erre.
So right after here I'll split and delete the middle clip, drag the second one.
Illetve erre az irányblokkra,
I think that's
mert ez megmondja
pretty
nekünk,
good.
hogy melyik irányba szeretnénk, hogy haladjon a robotunk, és végül ne felejtsük el, hogy a két motorunk két különböző
Next, I want to
porton van.
add another recording that I created. You can see here that I'm picking up this tablet to start a second recording, close-up of the robot. So I'll want to use that clip here instead of just like seeing the robot from far away.
Van.
So I'll split again here, and I'll find the end of the part where I make this recording.
Két motorunk a két
This is
porton van.
where I'm making the second recording. So I'll split here and make some space because I'm going to import this file, which I think this is going to be, yes, this is the close-up recording I made,
Motorunk a két porton
where I'm
van,
pointing out
M1,
where the
illetve
cable
M2.
should connect at what
Itt
port
látjuk,
to the
hogy
robot.
Oda vannak bekötve, tehát ezeket
I'll
fogjuk.
Click open to import this file. And as it's imported, I'll just drag it into the timeline in sequence. And let's see.
Ennyire jó. Két.
So I think I need to trim a little bit more.
Két különböző porton van.
This is actually where I want to insert it. So this whole long middle clip might be unnecessary. So I'll just split and delete again. Drag the second recording here.
Két
And I think
motorunk
I'll
a
want
két
to
porton van.
trim the beginning and the end so it just shows the interesting bits where I'm showing the robot itself. No need for the white tabletop. Almost perfect, but I think it will do for now.
M1, illetve M2. Itt látjuk, hogy oda vannak bekötve. Tehát ezeket fogjuk.
And I think that's also unnecessary to show my keyboard on the table, so I'll chop the end of it as well. Let's zoom out to find what follows after this, drag it back in sequence, and let's see, this is where I'm making the recording,
Tehát ezeket.
and this is where I want to switch back to the main camera showing me and not just the robot. So I'll split again,
Vannak bekötve.
maybe adjust the beginning a little bit, get rid of this middle clip, drag, and let's see.
Pedig megállítjuk a két motorunkat. Ne felejtsük el, hogy a két motorunk két különböző porton van. Két motorunk a két porton van, M1, illetve M2. Itt látjuk, hogy oda vannak bekötve. Tehát ezeket fogjuk.
Not perfect, but it will do.
Ennyi is volt.
I think I'll find
Elrakhatjuk a
a
robotot
good spot to end this here.
gépre.
I don't want to use the whole lesson. This is just an example after all. So I'll just grab the end and trim that as well. And zoom to fit. This will be enough for our demo. Now I have a gap at the left, so I'll select all of these clips and drag them all the way to the beginning. So that my video doesn't start with a few seconds of silence. I think I still have
Sziasztok!
a bit
A
of
mai órán
black screen at the start, so I'll try dragging again. Yeah,
Sziasztok!
now we're starting
A
with
mai
the
órán
video itself
azt
from the
fogjuk
very
megnézni, hogy
beginning.
hogyan tudjuk ezt az aranyos Artec robotot
This is
mozgásra
easy to forget, but doesn't take much to fix, so might as well. Now next up, let's see on the right hand side how we can edit the look and the sound of our clips. So let's first start with adjust colors from the right here. After selecting a clip, will let us change the various parts of how the image itself looks. So for example, dragging this exposure slider will make the image brighter or darker. With the contrast slider, of course, we can change the contrast of the image, make it a little bit more punchy or a little bit flatter. And I think this is sort of nice like this with saturation. I can make again the image very vivid or very colorless, and the temperature will shift the image more bluish, cooler, or more yellowish, reddish, warmer. Now I want to do these edits on all the files that are showing me, all the little clips where I'm on screen, because they all look the same, so they should be edited the same. And after selecting all of them with Control or Shift like you normally would, now that I'm editing here, all the edits I'm making, all the little adjustments will apply to all of them. So if I scrub through, I can see that all of them look the same. Now I can also raise the volume under the audio tab here. I think it might be a little bit too quiet, so I can just grab the slider and raise the volume.
Ne felejtsük el, hogy DC motor blokkra lesz szükségünk, amivel megmondjuk neki, hogy milyen gyorsan.
Yeah, this would definitely be a way too quiet.
Két motor van a robotunkon, illetve erre az
I think this will
irányblokra,
work.
mert ez megmondja nekünk, hogy melyik
Just to
irányba
make
szeretnénk,
it
hogy
a
haladjon.
little bit easier to hear. I can add a lot of other effects here. There is a filters tab with pre-built sort of looks or edits to the picture. These are a little bit more extreme or stronger than I like to edit, but you can feel free to use any of them. And then the effects, you can have some more special effects or more striking looks that you can add. Some videos might work with this. I don't think any of these really fit my current video, but feel free to look through these because sometimes they might come in handy. For example, this glitch effect to make things a little bit more interesting.
Ezért ide berakunk egy várakozást, majd utána pedig megállítjuk a két motorunkat. Ne felejtsük el, hogy a két motorunk két különböző porton van.
Yeah, these are a bit much for me, I think. So next up, I think I want to add some text at the beginning to show what the topic of the video is going to be. So I'll click on Add Text above the video on my timeline and click the little plus sign next to the plain text square there to add a block of text over my video. Now I'm just describing what the video is going to be about, and as I'm dragging this box out, I can make it fit on a single line. And I think I also want to move it down a bit, so I'll reselect it and move the text within the image down to the tabletop. It will stand out nicely here. And from the right hand side, I'll select text, and here I can make some adjustments to how the text itself looks. I'll just change the color to something darker so it stands out. But here I can also change the size of the font or the typeface even. And what I'll do is on the fade tab over here, I'll add some fade in and fade out. This will make the text appear gradually instead of just popping into existence and then popping out of existence. So fade in will add a gradual appearance at the beginning and fade out at the end. Maybe this long, and let's see how this will look.
Sziasztok! A mai órán azt fogjuk megnézni, hogy hogyan tudjuk ezt az aranyos Artec robotot mozgásra bírni. Itt van a robotunk, és
do nicely. As you saw, I can resize the text block in the timeline to decide how long it appears on screen. So here I'll just add another bit of text as a sort of reminder. It's a good practice to, as you're talking, add some text on screen with the most important points. Here I'm highlighting the students should remember to use the wait block as they are building this program. And I think I'll just change the font size a little bit because this is not a huge title or the topic of the video. This is just a mid-video reminder of an important point. And I'll also change the font style to something less thick, I think. No effects for this one, although you could apply those to text as well, I think. Let's change it to italics as well, and align it left so it fits nicely to the edge of the video. Give this some fade in and fade out as well. Here I'm not going to change the length because I just want it to appear shortly on the screen.
Majd utána pedig megállítjuk a két motorunkat.
I think that will work.
felejtsük el, hogy a két motorunk két különböző.
Next up, I also want to add an image as illustration. Now here I don't have any illustrative images ready, but in your case, in an online lecture or lesson, you could definitely add graphs or any sort of like illustrating pictures alongside your video. So here I'm just going to use some built-in free images, and I'll see if I can find something that sort of kind of fits my theme, because most of these aren't really going to be usable, but this is a great way to add extra visual information, even explanations in pictures, instead of having to show them on camera. So maybe this laptop image will work at the start, where I start showing how to program the robot. It sort of fits with the theme, and I'll just grab it and drag it above the text, and here this will add a new video track. Now later we'll work with this more, but here we're just using it for this image, and what you can see is the original video is still peeking out behind it, because now these are on top of each other and they're running at the same time. And with the image, what I'll do, because I want it to be a little bit transparent as well, so I'll add this blend mode from the color adjustments tab. So this will give it sort of kind of a transparent look, and I'll also add some fade in and fade out, also to not have it appear suddenly. This doesn't look very good, but I think this will be enough of a demonstration of how you can add images to your video. On the left side in your media, where you have your video clips, you can also import your own images the same way, and they'll also show up here, and you can then drag them into the timeline. Next up, let's go and finish up and export this. On the top right, I'll go export, and I'll select the resolution, and the export is running. Now once this progress bar is complete, as you can see, it's scrolling through the whole video as we've made our edits, and once it's done, it will give you a file downloaded into your computer. So let's see how it turned out.
Sziasztok! A mai órán azt fogjuk megnézni, hogy hogyan tudjuk ezt az aranyos Artec robotot mozgásra bírni. Itt van a robotunk, és kezdjük is ott, hogy megnézzük, hogyan fogjuk őt megprogramozni. Forduljunk is ide a monitorhoz, és itt látjuk, hogy ez a DC motor blokkra lesz szükségünk, amivel megmondjuk neki, hogy milyen gyorsan menjen. Ebből 2-re, mert 2 motor van a robotunkon, illetve erre az irányblokkra, mert ez megmondja nekünk, hogy melyik irányba szeretnénk, hogy haladjon a robotunk, és végül szeretnénk meg is állítani, ezért ide berakunk egy várakozást, majd utána pedig megállítjuk a 2 motorunkat. Ne felejtsük el, hogy a 2 motorunk 2 különböző porton van. Két motorunk a 2 porton van, M1, illetve M2. Itt látjuk, hogy oda vannak bekötve. Tehát ezeket fogjuk itt kiválasztani. So, to summarize, it's very easy and highly recommended to trim our mistakes from our videos. Cut them out rather than leave them in. Make sure to raise audio volume if you need to, so things are easy to hear and understand. And make sure to add some text at the beginning of the video to identify what you're going to be talking about, and also throughout the video as you need to point things out, to summarize things in a couple words, so that people have what you're talking about, what they're seeing on screen, and also some text to summarize what you're talking about. Thank you for your attention, and I'll see you in the next one.